everybody, and welcome to a very special day. So here we are today doing the first awards at Kerfuffle Towers, and I'm very excited because David, Rich, and my erstwhile colleagues, there is a nickname for me in the there's a few actually. There's a few nicknames in the industry, but one of them is certainly award whore. I was pleased, honoured to have won more Supplier of the Year awards than anybody else at that time. And whilst awards are often slightly sneered at, aren't they? Whenever the awards are disseminated out to the agents, it's always a really interesting split between those that obviously have got it and it's their Oscars moment, and those people that say they're all fixed. So I think it's really, really important to understand. I always leap to the defense of a lot of the other ones. You know, they all have very different styles and methodologies, but they do publish them. And I think that's really important for us. The first reason is every one of ours is voted for by the agents themselves and the clients of the agents, and we've created a two-tone system that ranks the all of the people on our sites. You can of course go to the leaderboards on kerfuffle.com, and you can filter by either category or solution. You could do that over a time period, you could do that overall, and those are the very public 5-star reviews or video reviews that we're really proud of. Everybody has to be named, they can't be anonymous, so that's again something we feel really strongly about. But what a lot of other people don't realize is our secret sauce, we believe, is we've also got 1,500 dashboards where agents, our agency clients, are actually filling in who they use in their own businesses as suppliers. And many of those have the ability to score them with what they call the Net Promoter Score Index, don't they? Which everybody will be familiar with it. It's simply that how would you rate this provider from a 0, obviously 0 value, all the way through to 10. We never ever say who a particular agent is using in terms of their suppliers or indeed how they've rated somebody, but we do give the anonymized scores to our Kerfuffle members to help them with their supplier decisions. And so between the combination of those public reviews and these dashboard reviews, we've come up with today the first annual reviews. Now, just to be clear, the eagle-eyed amongst you might notice that we're almost into March here. We have been a little bit busy here at Kerfuffle Towers, and it's taken us a while to compile the data as well and everything else. But the good news is we're not going to be just doing this now as a one-off, as many other awards do, where they do a survey over a couple of weeks or it's a judging entry. We're doing these over the course of the year, week in, week out. And actually, we're going to be running quarterly awards as well to make sure that people are aware of how service standards are across the board at any given time. That all makes sense, right?
And the reason that's important, Simon, is what we see is a huge difference between public reviews and the NPS scores. So the public reviews tend to be brilliant or bullshit, don't they? Nobody is going on and
Steve Jobs said that, didn't he? Yeah.
And making an effort to go, actually, these people are okay.
Yep.
What we also know is people also are more inclined to leave a review just after onboarding. So often a supplier can get the onboarding really, really well, and they'll get a positive review. Where we measure over time, we can see a trend, and it's a more genuine view of the relationships the agents have with suppliers.
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on, Rich. So I think the key thing is there, isn't it? There's lots of good businesses out there that do very good marketing. There's also very good businesses that are actually very, very good at getting those public reviews, those testimonials out there. And I still think they carry a huge amount of weight, because if you're going to put your backing behind them, whether, as you said, whether it's bullshit or brilliant, to be able to give context about how that supplier, is used and has gone down is fantastically important. But yeah, I think in such a small, incestuous world, a lot of people don't want to put their head above the parapet, do they? And just and give maybe slightly more normalized reviews. And that's what's great about those dashboards, because actually you see, of course, then the 5, 6, 7s out of 10 that you would expect to see actually most businesses fitting into. And that's why So at the end, you're quite right, Rich, there's a separate award as well for the overall just net promoter score champion as well, just to really highlight who's done best in that particular one. And I won't spoil it for you as well, because I know you two like a surprise, which is pretty much how I run this business, isn't it? Through the
we genuinely don't know who's going to win. We've not seen anything. And
I have a very. I thought you'd talk, David. Is the honest truth. So I've kept this.
Do I get paid for turning up now or at the end?
Unfortunately, this is considered leisure, and so you can't. But treat yourself to a hobnob. We first have allowed the suppliers to categorise themselves in different areas, and we validate that as well. But before we go through to the actual award stage, we do run it past our own agency kerfuffle panel here, just to make sure that they feel that warrants inclusion. So don't shoot the messengers on this. If you feel that somebody is worthy of inclusion in a particular category, please let us know and we'll run through that. Or if you feel that obviously that one doesn't work on there, please let us know as well. And this is going to evolve and grow over time, so we can only make these better with you getting involved. So I think is the most obvious point there, isn't it? So anyway, let's get going, guys. The good news is as well, but everybody, by the way, is we're not going to take a huge amount of time. We might make the odd comment. Guys, if you want to jump in, whether it's about the importance of the category or obviously the three of us are doing the supplier MOTs for people. So if you have, spoken to somebody, they've given you feedback, and let's keep it light and positive here. Please just jump in and let us know, and we'll talk about those. And in this category, it's going to go to PayProp. So obviously, very, very hats off, congratulations there. They've been a mainstay, obviously, in that particular category now for some time. Relative newcomers, Let's Pay get silver, and Agent OS and their Carmonly products has come in very quickly with third place there. So I don't think any great surprises there, are there, guys?
No huge surprises, but must say that all three of those solutions in one form or another have been helping a lot of agents out of that whole client account crisis this year as well. So they've been well tested and well used.
They have been.
And we're hearing more and more agents who are struggling to either set up client accounts or even having their client accounts removed. So obviously you've got time and cost efficiencies, but actually this is a category which is just going to grow and grow, in my opinion.
Absolutely spot on. And being able to, unfortunately, those people are given absolutely almost zero notice that they aren't going to have their account renewed, are they, and leaving them high and dry. So yeah, that's it's a really important category at the moment, and well done for doing it. So well done. In the agency business insurance, we have ComplileX. So that is I think I was looking at one of their reviews, a very handy solution to keep updated with all the current legislation around the property sector. My team is super delighted with the ComplileX product. So great to see that's obviously going down very well. Agency review management. So we've got a state track ranked at the top here. They've got a host of services, but the reviews hub is the bit that they're talking about. Here. In silver place, we've got Know Your Market from the Brief Your Market stable, which is in turn part of the Nurture stable there. So they've got an extensive, it's really hard to understand just how many different products they've got at the moment, but this is certainly one of those. And in third place, we've got View Agents. I think they call themselves the reputation management platform as well now. So that's obviously a product that brings together your Google reviews, your Facebook reviews, all into one place. So I think in a marketplace like this, isn't it, agency review management is going to become more important than ever, isn't it, to stand out from the crowd. That word of mouth is, again, got to be one of the best forms of advertising there is, isn't it?
So it's absolutely the best form of advertising, but also it should be a management tool. So, if you ask me how well I did yesterday, Simon, I'm going to tell you brilliant.
Yeah.
But actually what you want to hear is how brilliant I am from the client. So yes, it's good publicity. Yes, agents should be putting it in their processes that it's asked at relevant times. But from a management tool, it's really important as well.
Yeah, and most of those tools now have the ability to actually tag individuals, don't they? Rather, there's been a trend away from just the brand towards actually being able to look at the individual as well. And as you said, I was talking to Gary actually from Martin and Co, who mentioned exactly, reiterated just what you said there. He uses it, and actually the teams really enjoy it. You know, there's a lot of competitive kind of competitive stuff going on between the team members to make sure that they are being ranked accordingly by the public. So I think that's great. In auctions, we've got SDL winning gold. Now, of course, that's no surprise then, obviously, is it? Well, the IM Property Goliath obviously picked those guys up last year. I can't remember at which stage it was, but that was quite important. And Let's Bid got second place on the auction side. So again, auctions just seemingly doubling down on their growing importance with a good degree of agents, isn't it, guys?
I think so. In a more uncertain market as well, I think the auctions are coming into their own with a certain. I think vendors are now becoming more open to looking at that as a way to actually securing a sale that is going to endure and last.
And is that the modern method? Is that the modern method mainly, or traditional as well?
Yeah, and some of them refer to it as the modern method. Some of them refer to it as a sort of secure sales solution. But either way, anything that sort of gets commitment from a buyer very early on, with that obvious exchange of deposit, and it sets a very clear timeline for completion, I think just gives that vendor massive value.
If a vendor's looking for speed and security, it's got to be discussed and it's got to be an option for them.
And you're meant to inform them of all the different options anyway, aren't you? So you need to have something like that in the kit bag. And I know this is a particular project after your own heart, isn't it, David? You're getting a little bit frustrated that people don't see the sheer genius of that side of things.
I just think it's something that we don't do in this country enough. We don't get behind. Auctions always sort of been the poorer relative of private treaty, and it doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah. Well, we've got a very hotly contended one here. So automated marketing and nurturing, including touting. Ooh. Now, I'm going to really confuse people and make sure people are paying attention. Sometimes I'm going to start with a winner and sometimes I'm going to do a countdown. So you're never really going to know what's going on, which is, again, part of my allure. So in this time, we're going to do in third place, we're going to go with Akaboom. So obviously everybody knows that presentation tool. Obviously, it is important to understand it has some really good nurturing functionality in there. I always get really amazed at the open rates that you see. People opening their market update shows that they're really delivering hyper-local information for their stuff. So congratulations to the Akaboom team. In silver, we've got Home Search. Obviously, their off-market prospecting is being raved about, isn't it, by many as well. They get silver. And no surprise, just down the road from me at the moment, but that's not the reason they won. We have Spectre, obviously, I don't know whether they'd like to be called it, but the Rolls Royce of prospecting at the moment. Just as an aside, they've had a pretty spectacular year, haven't they, really, those guys?
It's a superb company from everybody that deals with them as a client basis. If you talk to the people that work there behind the scenes, they've got a very sort of unique take on things, and I think that they are, through their street group, I think they're adding a lot of value for agents at the moment. Obviously, the CRM has been growing in popularity, and to have that package with Spectre sort of under the bonnet already is a massive value add. But it's probably been one of the main prospecting tools for years now. So it's a very refined product.
But you could also argue, and it's only get more and more important to agents. So for the last 2 or 3 years, you put a property onto the market and it's sold.
Yep.
Actually, if the market changes, like I think a lot of us are nervous about, it's going to change to some degree. Actually, that prospecting, properties stick on the market longer, the opportunity is probably greater to be able to steal an instruction of another agent, and therefore those tools become more and more important.
Absolutely. And I think you can see it from the dashboards. It's one of the tools that does stick around a long time, doesn't it? It's not one of the, there are a few products that churn in, churn out and everything else there, but I suppose it stands to reason, doesn't it? If you're putting your nurture campaigns, your prospecting into a program there, you don't want to break that up, do you? And the risk obviously missing out on nurturing some of those appraisals. Because we're not just techies. I mean, I know I come at it from a pure prop tech background, and that's why I look so cool. But we do it's all suppliers here at Kerfuffle. So we've got boards here. So we've got SBE property signs winning gold, described as, I love a punchy three-pointer, reliable, responsive, and approachable. And that's not me. That's SBE.
That sounds like a Tory government slogan.
There you go, guys. Well, you could use that yourself. Agency Express get runners up, so well done there. Now, I know, David, you're into your branding strategy, aren't you? You're a big brand specialist, as that is.
Big on it.
I was going to ask you actually there to guess, but I didn't. I don't want to do that because then it'll all go there. No, we got in third. We got Property Stream. Congratulations, guys. In second place, Verboo, really interesting one there. Verboo, I often think is quite a difficult product to place, isn't it? Don't you think, in terms of it has a lot of different aspects there, but I think in terms of that affirmation of all of the different suppliers that you can get discounts with for your tenants for the main supermarkets. I mean, at a time of a cost of living crisis, what could be better than getting? I think in some of them it's between about 7 and 12% off your weekly shop. That's not to be sneered at, is it?
No, I think if an agent can find a way to sort of weaponize it in the right way. I think it's a huge thing to have. I think they brand themselves as sort of the reward partner to the industry, and there is nobody else. They're almost in a category of one, aren't they? Because it's not hugely prevalent in our industry, but I think anything that you can find that's a value add that you could give to a client to make the relationship easier, and it seems like you're not just there to give them an invoice at the end of the day, but you're also giving them a suite of products or services or benefits to actually being with you. I think that's a win for an agent.
And it's the little things, isn't it? So their open rates that their tenants, tenants are going to obviously be a real pain for agents. There's that shoot the messenger kind of ethos, isn't it? Where they blame the agent for the landlord and everything else there. But the fact that their newsletters get over a 50% open rate at a time when your inbox is more crowded than ever shows that that's something that's a brand that they're really engaging with, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. And in first place, we've got Dataloft. Of course, it's going to be Dataloft, isn't it? So we've got Dataloft, that brilliant ability to turn pure stats into actionable information that people are going to want to engage with, whether that's using the widget on your website or further infographics. So we talk about them a lot, don't we, on MOTs that we do. They seem to come up a lot with people.
If you're busy and you haven't got time to, I mean, yesterday's a great example. We had a budget, so you want to be able to put something out that will be decent for social media, and you might not have time to research all the stats. Well, Dataloft are going to do that for you. They're also going to prepare some great ready-to-go infographics and local market reports. And you can even turn those into videos quite successfully as well if you just want to use them as a script. So I think there's a number of different applications.
You do that in your part-time, don't you, David? You enjoy that so much?
You know me, a camera, a script, ready to go.
So you've got the marketing side. I've also spoken to quite a few agents who are using them to justify their prices in valuations.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So they're really analysing that data they're being provided with.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, look, Rich, you're gonna love this one. Business, legal, and compliance. This has Richard Durant stamped all over it. So we've got Keyzap in gold. Okay, you've got Complilex in second, Sinclair Taylor in third. No surprises in any of those?
Not. The only surprise is that agents are not using firms like Sinclair Taylor enough. Yeah. Because it doesn't cost you anything. They monitor your withdrawn stock or anything really that you may have been due a fee on. And I don't know a single agent that hasn't over the years accumulated maybe at least 2 or 3 cases every year where they think, should we or shouldn't we have had a fee out of that? And I think it can actually add significantly over time to that bottom line. It's a really good service.
What do you
and it's a fairly.
Why do you think that, you know, why isn't it being? Is it just deemed too contentious that they just, or what's the reason?
I think the time.
No-brainer.
I think the time lapse causes issues. So, you know, I market your property today, Simon. Mincy knocks on your door, says, come on, let's miss out the agent. Actually, I'm not going to be able to prove that categorically until that goes up onto land registry to prove you've sold it. And then I've got to find out who's living it and who's purchased the property. And that's going to be 9 months down the line, probably. If the conveyancers are suggesting it's 150 days to go through, then you've got the delay in land registry. Am I going to remember that I didn't trust Mincy in 10, 11 months' time? Probably not.
And it's also, it can be tedious to deal with it yourself, because this is classic small claims court territory, isn't it, really, when you're looking at the sort of amount of fees that you're claiming for very often. So I think it's best left to the professionals. And you also don't want to ruin your relationship with clients. So having somebody there as that sort of professional buffer really works.
Lovely stuff, guys. Concierge as a solution now. Just moving, get gold, go to get silver here. Again, like your frustration previously, I never really understand why the concierge services don't take off more. You know, presented right, I can really see how that would work well with, you know, pitching to vendors there. Do you got any thoughts on that yourselves?
I think the agents that use it really well as a sort of a concierge service, there's been an element of it within the lettings industry for a while, and that generally tends to sort of concentrate on utility switching, but this is slightly more than that. And I think if you can work that into a sales department, it makes completion and handover just seem a lot more professional, and that you are adding value for both buyer and seller at that point. And hopefully then, because by the time you get to completion, either somebody really loves you as an agent, or they cannot stand you and want to get out of the way. But either way, it can't hurt to have something at the end that really is practical and helpful.
No.
Yeah, and also it's a revenue opportunity, isn't it?
Cool.
You know, you're able to assist with products and services most people will need. So most people will need removals, won't they?
Yeah.
So actually you're providing a solution of a fairly well-respected and trusted company, because that's who these companies will partner up with, and you'll get paid for it.
I just think, you know, the people in the office are always being bounced from, you know, we're focusing on conveyancing this month, financial services there, whatever else it is. To, you know, so the idea of throwing, you know, multiple different, as you spoke about, services to do is probably asking them to do too much when they've got other things on the go. Being able to actually set that up for somebody who's going to talk about all the important aspects of your move, I do love that. Maybe it's a bit more of a nuanced kind of pitch in the initial stages, but I think those ones that deliver on that is where the public aren't going to see that as, or certainly I wouldn't see it as a hassle factor or imposing in it. I'd see that as literally helping me out, as it should be.
Yep, agree.
Conveyancing. Okay, so we've got Sort Move in first place. Congratulations, guys. Avrillo in second, and Simply Conveyancing in third. Well done there, guys. They're doing a particularly difficult job at the moment, aren't they? Considering
I think it's a difficult job, and I think where we've seen change recently is 5 or 6 years ago, as agents were making decisions based on referral fees.
Yeah.
Whereas now, the vast majority of the agents you speak to, actually, it's about service.
Yeah.
Speed and service.
Rather than the fee. And what we see is the best conveyancers are knocking 20 to 30 days off the average transaction time.
And you know, that ability to turn the pipeline is just absolutely critical, isn't it?
It impacts on everything. The relationship with your clients, it's going to impact your cash flow. So the quicker you can get through that pipeline, and as we enter that sort of uncertain market, the ability for all the way up to exchange, for anybody to just to sort of have a change of mind at any point isn't particularly healthy. So you need that momentum, and you need to try and sort of get it through in a reasonable time frame. The longer it drags on, the longer that, the bigger the chances that you're going to end up back at square one again. So this is hugely important.
Yeah. We're into CRM now, guys, and I think what's really interesting here now, as you know, I like nothing more than mistelling a story. Peter Knight always tells a story that from somebody else, and I think it was one of the car hire companies who used to describe themselves. They knew they were second in the marketplace, but they did a very clever pitch about saying we work that much harder because we are in second. Was it Hertz or Avis? I can't remember which one it is, but it
was Avis, yeah.
And I think what we're seeing here, let's just run through them, is a reflection of that, because I don't think it's all the big names that you might have expected jumped out at you. So Loop, Oliver Gleave, as many people will know, the creator of Dupix, started up again there. Mark Bevan, my old colleague as well, really making some waves, it feels like, over there. They've got gold spot. You've got Vico from Eurolink in silver place doing really well, and then Desres I've got bronze there. Also, I'm going to give a special commendation out to Apex 27, who have done, they haven't got too many public reviews, but they have got a huge amount of really positive reviews in the dashboard. And I think that needs to be sort of mentioned there. But do you see what I mean there, guys? Maybe those aren't the names that you would have thought there, but clearly they're actually working on making sure that their clients are happy and willing to obviously testify to their talents.
I think what they're doing is they have really strong relationships with their clients, and they're listening and adapting to what the clients need. Certainly that's comments I've heard about all three of those.
Yeah, really interesting. We've got debt recovery here, so I think there's only, it's going to be one name here. Sinclair Taylor, again, you were just talking previously about them, so congratulations guys there.
And not just sales debts either. They have a service as well for lettings and management, so definitely worth checking out.
I should watch more of your videos. You do update me on this stuff. I only watch my own stuff, you know that.
I only record them for you.
That's those special bits. Deposit protection. We have in first place Depository, Complilex, and then Flatfare. So well done, guys, there.
And actually, it just shows how agents' opinion is of what category product should fit in, because all three of those products are fairly different. Yes. So they all come under deposit protection. Yeah. But obviously, you've got Depository, which is the end of tenancy solution.
Yeah.
You've got Flatfare, which is sort of an alternative to the traditional deposit. And then you've got Complilex, which is the sort of digital platform around the compliance in lettings, which will include sort of deposit releases and. So it's just quite interesting to see how agents differ in what category they put their providers under.
Digital and social media marketing. This is quite a big catch-all category, isn't it? Again, let's go reverse order this time. I'm going to catch myself out so clearly here. Dataloft, unsurprising there, isn't it? Well done, Dataloft in third place. They hit a key thing there. Estate agency content, well done for silver. Hear good things about you guys. And in the winner though, Estate Apps, all the way in Colombia. He'll be cheering into his. Whatever he's drinking over there, I don't know what is it. Is it a mojito? It's a mojito. Well done, Alex. So again, another company. What I do think is interesting here is those companies that we're talking to, and they actually go out of their way to name the individuals. And Alex and Estate Apps is definitely one of those. Now I know there's many other great people in that business, but for people to actually go out of the way to name check people, I think is always quite telling. Okay, now we're getting at events and awards, guys. Events and awards. So it's not quite awards season, although we have managed to pick up a man flu from a couple of them so far. We have in first place EA Masters. So congratulations to Peter Knight and the Academy team there. Again, another fantastic bash this year. In second place, we've got the ESTAs. Obviously, always a very prestigious event, isn't it? Obviously down at the Grosvenor and everything else. Phil Spencer obviously always holding it together there as well. And in third place, and I think this was an eye-opener for me when I attended it for the first time, was the Agent Rainmaker crew. So a very different event, one of these smaller, dare I say, more engaged kind of ones there. I think you were very impressed as well, David, weren't you?
Yeah, the feedback, particularly from suppliers, had said that it was the most engaged audience that they'd ever met at a conference, because I think everybody has to pitch in and get involved. I mean, I wasn't there in person, but I think you were this year, weren't you, Simon?
Yes, yeah. I was brilliant. I was on the panel show, and if I'm honest, it was one of my best.
It was.
You put on Whaley at 5 o'clock at a conference, and you're rolling the dice.
But I do want to say a special congratulations to Peter Knight for getting to the top. You are now in the top 5% of events in this industry.
I see what you've done there, Mincy. Finally,
I think what's interesting on that point, Simon, is how well the conferences have bounced back. So obviously with lockdown and COVID, my gut feeling was we were never going to see them the same, and I think all three of them have gone over and above and improved what they were before, and they bounced back really well.
Yeah, these are big venues there, and I know there's always that paranoia. And actually, as far as I can remember, they all sold out actually well in advance to get people, because there's a real earnestness to get back. And this is in the bit middle again of a very busy time in the marketplace. So I do think they've jumped back. I think what's interesting, and look, hopefully we'll see that in there for this year. Women in Estate Agency had one just a few weeks ago. There's a lot of different evolving ones. I'm off to the life cycle one in a couple smaller, tighter, more engaged events as well. And I think that kind of TED Talk approach one is going to be a really interesting dynamic over the coming weeks and months.
Yeah, and the RAN one's supposed to be really good as well, isn't it?
Do we have? I don't know if have we just shattered the fourth wall there? It's good. Yeah, it'll be fantastic. As Victor Kayam said, I like the conference so much I bought the company. But yeah, well, of course, watch this space on that, Rich. Right, we're going to go to best franchise now. So in third place, You Move. So congratulations, guys. There, they always do fantastic in the awards. It wouldn't be an awards ceremony without them. To be fair, we've got Mr. and Mrs. Clark. Again, well done, guys. Bouncing onto the scene and doing really well there. And Belvoir in top spot. So, congratulations. No one will be at all surprised by that. I think, obviously, Belvoir, like many of the franchise groups, have had a really positive period over the last few years. HR and recruitment, that goes to Crux this year. So, congratulations there. They do wear a few different hats over at Crux, but certainly on the recruitment front, they seem to actually they do a really good job, don't they? They help out both agents and they help out the suppliers, and I think that's quite laudable. They do seem to have a really good stock pool of talent, obviously, there, and a few interesting models over and above just the normal way of dealing with people that can make it much more cost effective. So I think, well done, guys, there. Insurance, we've got Moving Hub and Reeds. So well done there. Moving Hub in first place, Reeds in second. Inventory and inspection providers. In first place, we have No Letting Go and Silver for Assist. So congratulations there. Inventory and inspection software. So that was providers before, but we've got the software side here. So in this case, Inventory Base get top spots, No Letting Go get second, and Inventory Hive get the bronze as well. Now, do you know what I love about this category? It doesn't matter whether it's on our platform or whether it's on the voting for EA Masters, anything is. It seems to get a real disproportionate amount of people voting for it. Whatever, it may not seem the most exciting one there, but for the people that are actually using it, this very clearly feels like it's an important partner to them rather than just being a supplier. Do you get that impression as well?
Yeah, whether it's inventory and inspection providers or software, actually it's a massive part of your business, and it can make an agent's life a lot easier. The last thing you want as an agent is having disputes at the end of every tenancy because the inspection report or the checkout report's incorrect. It's just really, really important. I think the relationships made are really strong. You can get it really right or really wrong. And I think the people mentioned get it right every time.
They get the right balance there. That's really good. And as we're saying on all of these, of course, do go, make sure you go to the landing pages. Often there are lots of written reviews. Sometimes there are video reviews, which we're very proud of. I think they really bring those to light. And you can always see on a lot of these as well, we will have done videos, interviews, panel shows with them. You can get a real feel for what these companies are before even deciding whether you want to reach out and have a chat with them. Okay, we have got legal and regulatory compliance, and this one goes to National Safety Inspections Limited, and they got a huge amount of reviews last year. So congratulations to them for getting into it with such an earnest interest as well. Management consultancy. In second place, we have Crux, who we just mentioned. So again, well done for them having many different hats there. I think I can see from David's smile that he knows who's won this one. So obviously, we're a big fan of his. I hope he's a big fan of us. That's a bit, but that would have been really awkward. Stephen Brown, obviously, absolutely, always gets a huge amount of love from people, and the reviews reflect the way he's thought of within the industry as well. So, congratulations, Stephen, for helping out on the consultancy fund. And it's a really important area, isn't it? I mean, again, you're a bit biased here. I think, David, you've sat on his round table kind of affairs as well.
Great sort of mastermind groups that he does and the support that he's given to agents. But I think anyone that knows him knows that it's more than that for him at the moment. It's become a mission to try and help as many people as possible, and there's a lot of people that benefit from his sort of mentoring without any payment or involvement. And it's interesting how that's grown over the past few years. But no, he's doing a tremendous job.
He is doing very well. We have Modus in the management information. This is a relatively new company. Power BI is the only technical thing I know about it. They're helping people out, extracting data from whether that's from Excel spreadsheets or from CRMs, and turning it into usable MI there. I think that we're going to see this as a growth area, I think, aren't we, over the coming years?
I think it develops into that gamification, doesn't it, of your data. So we've all banged on for so long about how important the data is, and then actually what you do is you give all of your staff an Excel sheet with lines and lines of data, which doesn't mean anything to them. Yeah. Actually, what they're doing is they're bringing it to life in a really sort of user-friendly, understandable format.
And I think if you can combine that in the future with things like AI, you are going to find a lot of uses for that sort of data.
I knew you wouldn't be able to leave ChatGPT out of this. Just to let you know.
Bingo! If you can mention AI in any conversation, you win.
No, you say it's machine learning and then you sound really clever. Market research. We have in top spot, Sprift. Well done, Sprift. Obviously out there, ubiquitous across so many agencies these days. We have, again, estate agency content mentions. And in third place, we have home search. So congratulations to you guys for obviously giving agents all the tools to the job to obviously to be the experts in their patch. I think it's a really important area. With mortgages, we've got Reed Financial, so congratulations to you for helping out so many agents in that particular area. And in network, and this is where we do have to obviously again take our hats off here. Well, let's do the one that this was a tie. I love it when it's a tie. It always feels like it gets like proper like Sunday Times EA Masters. So the Guild and Ran get a second spot tied together. So that's quite interesting. Obviously, the two affiliation networks, and in top spots again, agents together. And I think that's a really, really positive one at the moment. A lot of people. I see just yesterday. Christian Byfield again has become another of their mentors. We're forever seeing, I mean, we know people like Simon Bradbury. I know Michael Paul help them out. I think it is a really important niche now in this industry, isn't it, from this point of view?
It's fantastic, and it's become very important in that sort of post-pandemic perspective as well, of having those conversations, and loads of agents are just benefiting from other agents' experience and support.
Don't have to go through it. You don't have to go through it yourself, do you? There's so many people that have done this,
and it's sort of frictionless because there's no money involved. It's just it just works because people give their time for free.
You've got three options, haven't you, when you look at a particular part of your business, really. If it needs improvement, you can work on it internally to try and improve it. You can find a partner, one of the suppliers that we do, to try and help you out, or you can outsource it completely. And that's what this category is about, outsource support. We have in third place, we have ASAP, who are doing tremendous, again, assistance with people on the sales progression and helping people out there. Their stats in terms of how much better than the national average, again, something really, really impressive, isn't it, from that there. We have PropCall. They jumped onto the platform just last year and have already, I think it's fair to say, David, really impressed, haven't they? An outsourced call service, but actually dedicated to helping out with property management calls. So it's doing a lot more than just actually answering the calls themselves, isn't it?
I think any of those services now, and there's a few, but PropCall are very good at it, is refining that triage process as much as possible and enabling people to not necessarily fix things themselves, but if there are quick wins, and very often in property management, everybody will know that there are jobs that you don't need to send somebody out to if you can talk people through it. So there's a proliferation of that going on.
I'll ask you to say
that word.
No, they're really good. I mean, they're watching the profit margins, aren't they? They do. If you can arbitrage it there, and then why would you not have an expert like that do it? And that's what and also what a wonderful service to be able to throw at landlords, that you are open 24 hours over Christmas, whatever it is, without having to have that struggle with your staff members to persuade them of why that's necessary. I think that's
the biggest win for businesses and landlords, tenants. The way that out of hours calls have traditionally been handled is it's gone through to some builder, and depending on whether or not they're in the pub already, depends on whether or not you get a call back. But now there's dedicated services that aren't just there to spend your money, they're there to try and sort of work out what needs to be done.
And it's always nice when they're a lovely fellow, and Aaron is a lovely fellow there.
Yes.
There isn't a lovely fellow award, but if it was Aaron, you'd have won it. So well done. No Letting Go, who we've obviously mentioned a few times already, and I always like it when you hear those names come up again. They get gold in the outsourced support. So well done to those guys.
I think it's a testament to they've appeared under so many different categories for what's a fairly basic service, i.e. they'll undertake your inspections and your checkouts for you, or they'll provide the software to enable you to do it. They have raving fans, don't they?
They really do. They really do. So for the eagle-eyed again amongst us, we're into the P's, we're into the final stretch. So let's get these. We've done the hump. Let's do this. Photography. Property Video Solutions get bronze. If you want to do anything in video, you want to, if you want to get testimonials done, if you want to get staff interviews there, if you want to get local areas, go to PVS. They are absolutely fantastic. They know what is wanted. They work with so many leading agents. I can't speak highly enough of them. Made Snappy. In silver, congratulations there, guys. I've seen you expanding across the network now, delivering a really good service, I think, out there to people. But then I suppose it is the photography category. It's only fitting that DCTR, or Dr. Photo as they are known, kind of come away with gold on this. So well done, guys, there. Keep delivering that keep doing that voodoo that you do, I think is the thing that they say here. And another traditional one, we've got printing and traditional media here. Now, I think what's really interesting is, let's start with Ravensworth, who get third place. Obviously, always been the granddaddy of this thing here. But I think the two in top spot, you wouldn't ordinarily have associated them with printing and traditional. And it's Home Search in silver and Spectre again in gold. Now, I think this is really interesting, isn't it? Because actually, it's showing this blend of pure prop tech, but actually understanding the delivery mechanism. There has been a bounce back, actually, as people have got less used to seeing, so many letters coming through. The direct mail has had a real resurgence, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's combining the elements of that prospecting software and being able to send out all of those letters without leaving your desk is the ultimate advantage to the agents, and the deals that they have on postage is pretty decent as well. So
yeah, they get really good discounts,
the
don't they?
print quality needs to be good because you can't be sending rubbish around to prospective customers, and the service and the delivery needs to be fairly decent as well. So yeah, lots of great feedback from those two.
You almost delivered that line perfectly there, David, as well. So well done.
Thank you. Right, kind of you to notice.
Yeah. Proactive appointment generation, and who doesn't love a bit of this? In bronze place, we have Yondell. So well done, part of obviously the Briefing Market stable. Money Penny, we haven't mentioned them yet today, have we? So congratulations, Money Penny, on it, because I think this is a key service they've laid into them. They used to, and they still obviously take the calls fantastically well, but they're now actually able to add that same level of professionalism in doing outbound calls. I'd be on the phone to them, ironically, myself straight away, because you'd want to understand what a company like Money Penny has in this arena, wouldn't you? And then Agent Extra in top spot as well. So again, specialising in this particular area. So if you're struggling for appointments, guys, you've got 3 options there to talk to, haven't you? And as we always say, if you want to have a chat with us, we will include our links, our Calendly links on here. We're happy to work these through with you, talk what's appropriate for your business, and help you, decipher through the 800 plus different suppliers we've got on the website, which ones are right for you. We've got progression tracking. So in third place, we've got Properly. We have got OpenView in silver and ASAP again in gold place. So well done, guys, on those. Next up, property management and maintenance. We're going to go with PropCall again in bronze place. NSLI in silver. And it's that brand again, David. You'll be pleased on this. Get your No Lettings Go t-shirt on. No Lettings Go. A raise of the Roger Moore eyebrows was all I needed there for that hearty endorsement. Yet again, he couldn't stop talking about them before. Now he's stopped. Anyway, he's blown away. So well done, guys, on that. Property particulars. We have Ravensworth in third place, DCTR in silver, and we have Sprift in number 1 place. So well done, guys, there for your digital brochures that you're able to create. Property portal. Now, this is a bit interesting. So we have ZPG in third place, Zoopla obviously in bronze. We have On the Market, obviously everyone's been very impressed, I think, with what Mr. Tebb has been doing in the marketplace there. But interestingly enough, the one that has been voted for by the people on here, Sort Move. So congratulations in terms of getting the votes there where it matters, guys.
It's interesting how they've positioned that as a portal, isn't it? As obviously we've all seen it and we understand all of the benefits of it.
Yeah.
But it must be, for them, they must be really pleased that their clients are now considering them a portal in the non-traditional way.
Yeah,
because that's how they position themselves, don't they?
It's breaking out from that very traditional view, but isn't it interesting that all of the portals really have been, obviously they have pure portal offerings as well, but they've all broken off into doing different aspects, bringing those together in services. Lots of partnership deals obviously with OTM have been springing up over the last year, which a lot of agents have taken advantage of, obviously at a time when costs are tight. So it's it's always going to be an interesting, it's always probably going to be the most interesting ones on there. I'll tell you what, it has been interesting, just as an aside though. Obviously, the biggest one of all, Rightmove, was in there. Now, Rightmove is very interesting. They don't get too many public reviews on there. But when we are in the dashboards again, you do see a lot of people, admittedly, it's quite polarized. But there's a lot of people, when they aren't being watched by other agents, who talk about Rightmove in a very positive fashion, don't they? And I think that's, do they deliver on what they're there for? A lot of them would say, actually, that's the case. The problem is it's a very polarizing company, and that's why, obviously they haven't made top spots on this occasion, but probably needed a bit of context around that for the obvious one that was missing there. Okay, property safety certificate. I didn't realise there were so many P's. MSLI in silver spots, and no surprise at all, no letting go. Have picked up the gold there, so well done. Property surveys in top spot in this one. We have Moving Hub followed by GoTo. So congratulations to Moving Hub and GoTo, as we say there. Telephony, network, and IT. So in third place here we have Evolution IT, Aduvo in silver spots, and Genmar in gold spot. Rich, I think you've been talking to a few of the agents that use Genmar, haven't you, recently? They seem to have been quite popular, haven't they?
They're really well liked, nice guys, and their business has grown from building relationships. So yes, they provide a really good service, but actually I think what they've realised is for what could be deemed as sort of a bit of a dull category, actually they've gone out and they've made friends and delivered.
Good stuff. Tenant referencing. We have Let Mojo getting third place. We have Just Move in silver, and we have Vouch picking up the gold again. Unsurprising there, I suppose. Always done very well at EA Masters, haven't they, Vouch? My memory is they're in and out of those very top spots there. So obviously part of the Good Lord family. So congratulations to the Vouch team there. On the training side of things, we have actually, this is quite an interesting one. So Complilex. So Complilex, you might not think of that as the most exciting, obviously, one there, but everyone I talk to seems to give it a real shout out in this most vital area of obviously getting the compliance sorted. That's that seems to be quite a popular product at the moment, doesn't it?
It's sort of a compendium, isn't it, of all compliance matters in one place. So I think it's the go-to resource for any sort of thriving lettings and management department.
Yeah, cool. In second place, we have Crux again. Well done, guys, there. And top spot, estate agent content. So massive hats off to you guys for doing that there. Training, obviously, absolutely believe shouldn't just be given a name check. Everyone talks about, our staff and training comes first. The people that genuinely do deliver on that, I've always seen just step ahead of the crowd. So well done to anyone taking advantage of these companies. We've got utility, and then we got Let Mojo in third place here. We've got Just Move In. And then I suppose this is in the Ron Seal winner of an award, winning the utility, one utility bill. So congratulations to you guys for winning that particular category, guys. Valuation presentation as a category now. So in third place, Dataloft. Well done, guys, with your informed product. In silver and second, we have Ackerboom. Congrats. And in first place again, we have Spriff. So three very well. I mean, I think those you can't really go far wrong with any one of those three names there, really, can you? It's time after time those ones come up on pretty much every call we're having.
And a couple of those have got integrations, haven't they? So Spriff, I think, and Ackerboom work particularly well together. And
I like that because on the face of it, they're treading on each other's toes, but they're actually still willing to work together to actually help the clients on it. And as we know, when we survey agents, their biggest frustration still to these dates is that suppliers do not work closely enough together and help them out. So, although single sign-on and things like that might sound a bit techie, those businesses that deliver on it do actually get a halo effect from the other one, don't they? And I think that's really good to see. Okay, website design, content, and SEO. In third place, we have Estate Track. Well done, guys. In silver, Nelly and Art Division. Well done, absolutely. The doyen of SEO, as I call Nelly. And Estate Apps from his Colombian hideouts. Congratulations there, Alex, on winning the website design, content, and SEO. Website functionality we have here. So we have in third place, we have Hive doing some really interesting stuff. Moneypenny, obviously we've spoke about what they're doing, taking inbound calls. We know they're now doing outbound calls, and of course they do have chat as well on there to help out with the website. But in top spot we have Yomdel there, again part of the Brief Your Market Empire. So hats off to you. Now I want a little drum roll, guys. Are you feeling energized? Have you anchored yourself and getting yourself in there? We're going to lead first of all with those net promoter champions. So this is just based now on the top scores from those 1,500 dashboards we've got. And I've got to say their scoring was off the scale to it. To the degree when I was actually talking to the particular person, they said it looks so high, it looks artificial. But I think it's one of those, they're in a perfect world where they're a relatively new product. They're helping out in a really, can be quite a tricky area here. Christian Byfield's already jumping from his seat because he knows that's his description of his business. Hats off to the depository for winning the first NPS one there. Again, I think they've just had a fantastic year, haven't they? They've added leaders, Romans. Every single week we seem to get another update that they're integrating with another major party. Just feels like that's a company in its own particular stream, isn't it, at the moment?
I think they solve a very real problem, don't they? So it's come from an agent having an issue. Yeah. And he absolutely cares about the industry and the business. And I think that comes through really strongly. And if you're an expert who cares deeply, your product's eventually going to be really good, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the only person I've genuinely heard on one of our panel discussion shows who described Christian as Jesus for helping him out of a hole in this particular area. So it's only a poll of one, but that's quite a strong testimonial, isn't it? I've heard him called the Viking. I haven't heard him called the son of the son of our Lord. But anyway, so well done on that. And just a reminder, all of the other ones do have a proportion of the reviews made up for by those net promoter scores as well. The top overall provider. So this is for 2022, what ran all the way through. In third place, we have National Safety Inspection. So well done, guys. They weren't on the radar with us until last year, and it just goes to show you get a lot of people talking about you and everything else. If you're a popular, well-used solution, you can really bounce onto the scene very effectively. What's
interesting there, Simon, sorry on that point, is they are not very big on self-promotion. So they're not out there, they're not on every webinar. So they are clearly delivering a really, really good service, aren't they?
They're the ones that we rub.
They're literally too busy doing their reports.
We rub our hands when we see these ones because we always talk about them as the industry's best kept secret, don't we? So it's almost like we get a bit Huggy Bear style. We say, you should be talking to these guys because we know they're delivering for so many other people there. And it's that absolute other end of the scale, isn't it? Where some people market themselves really well. And let's say it maybe just flatters to deceive. It might not work out the boxes as the marketing dictates. And I think it's really, really important that we do promote people like this so that they get their due attention and due worth. So well done guys. A man who does need no promotion though because of all the great stuff he does, Stephen Brown wins second place. So well done, Stephen, again. I've still got to get you that last award, I know that, so maybe I can combine it with this one. Maybe we can just do lunch. That's probably what you want more than anything. But in top spots, drum roll please, David. That's the drum roll, is it? Just to let you know, guys, we will put probably some more resources into this next time round. It's inventory based. Well done, tremendously well done, Steve and the team there. As we said before, this is not a surprise. This is not unusual. This isn't an outlier. These guys get a disproportionate amount of votes compared to others there. They do the right job, they deliver for their members, and I think that really is testimonial to what
and nice people to deal with, easy to deal with.
Yes, exactly. And that's really because it isn't, you're right, David, it isn't just about the solution, it's not just about the tech or whatever else there. People who forget that software as a service, whatever else, that the service is a key part of that promise, really are missing a trick, aren't they? So look, that's a wrap. Congrats to everybody there. As voted, as we said, not over a few weeks, but week in, week out, month in, month out, over the entire year. If you disagree with us, obviously it's not us doing it. You go there, get voting on kerfuffle.com. It takes literally seconds. You don't even have to do a full register on there. Or claim your dashboard and we'll happily take you through how you can use that to maintain your supply relationships, get better deals, get in a better place, improving those relationships. We're always happy to help out there. Suppliers, from your point of view, we're now doing these quarterly. And the good news for you is we're into just a couple of weeks away is the first quarterly update on this as well. So if you feel aggrieved, if you feel we should have had that one there, get out, get your clients, your happy clients voting for you, and we want to hear as many of those different ones. And we obviously want to hear all the good people getting rewarded for their good work. And as I said, this site is for you. So if any of these you think we're missing categories, thinking people are in the wrong categories, just let us know. And especially if we haven't got a supplier on the platform, we work very hard to try and get anyone on here, but please give us a nomination. And as ever, we reward anybody who gets a supplier onto our platform with free membership as well for a period of months. So we would love to be able to do that. We're adding about 20 to 30, so it shows it's still really, really vibrant out there in supplier world. But for today, any closing comments, chaps?
I'll leave that to David.
It's been very emotional. It's the second biggest awards category of the week. We've just had the Oscars a couple of days ago.
There you go. Oh, I've missed the entire relevance and reference to
But
that.
No Letting Go didn't get a single award at the Oscars.
Yeah.
But today they've cleaned up. So well done, everyone.
That's why we're more relevant. We're down with the people, and no one got slapped. That's why we didn't have this as a real thing. Too many people might take it out of me. Well done, guys! Congratulations to everyone. You will be getting your baubles, your little the actual awards up on the site. We're going to make sure that we obviously shout about these there, and we would encourage you to do the same. So for now, thanks very much, guys, and we'll catch up with you soon.